Right, everybody, we're back. Me and Theo, we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about? Black Ops 4, the reveal trailers, everything to do with CODs, like as our annual podcast, that's what we call it. So let's start. As we did last year, we basically shat all over Infinite Warfare. This year, it's going to be no different. We're about to go and shit all over World War II, because let's face it, it wasn't the greatest game, was it?
No, it was awful.
So with World War Two, why do you think it flopped? What went wrong?
There was just so much hype for it, and then the fact that it didn't live up to that hype, and I think because I don't think it was one of the worst games we've had, but it wasn't one of the best we've had. So when it was so hyped up, and then when people played it and like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it'd be, I'm not going to play it anymore. That's why people were like, it's awful. I think it's bad, but that's why a lot of people aren't playing it.
The thing the thing with it was, in my opinion at least, it did have potential. Like I remember when we played the beta, we thought, if this really is the actual game that we're going to be playing, I mean, they need to improve a few things, but it has potential. But then when the game came out, it was like it's still the beta, like nothing has changed.
Yeah, and I think the thing is as well, it gets really, really boring, and that's the thing.
Yeah, the maps are just stale.
Yeah,
The kill streaks aren't good.
that's one of the things that I think makes a really good COD. It makes it enjoyable streaks, and if it's because when you get a streak, it's a good feeling, and then but in World War Two, because the streaks are all bad, when you get one, it's just like, I'm not going to get any kills with it. What's the point?
Yeah, it's like you call in, what was it, like one of the highest ones I got was paratroopers.
Oh.
Yeah, and like you call it in and it just won't get any kills, and like you just worked so hard for that kill streak, and then it just does nothing.
And you compare it to Black Ops 3, you had the wraps.
You get like the
raid.
wraps and you kill like you get like 30 kills, probably not 30, but you get like 10 kills with it.
Exactly, and then paratrooper, you're lucky to get one because they run around with shovels.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah, they give them random weapons. It can be any weapon in the game, and that's what they use. It can be a pistol, can be an LMG, can be a decent gun, but they give a lot. I've seen some of them use a bloody shovel.
I call in the paratroopers and they're all running around with fucking shovels.
Exactly.
So for fuck's sake, really?
It's just like mental. And even when they buffed them, they felt bad as well. It's just like
it just it had potential, but it just didn't live up to it. I think and especially like halfway through, Condry and what's his name, Schofield left.
Yeah. And they're probably one of the only two people who are keeping it alive somehow, because they were updating us a lot. And I haven't heard anything since they've left.
No. And then like around the same time, they changed everything, didn't they? I mean, I didn't experience this firsthand because I stopped playing it like months ago, but they released like an update and it changed
It was
everything.
awful,
didn't
yeah.
they?
Because I play a lot of competitive, and I was even on a team, and we were playing in a league spot up to that point. And then our qualifiers to make it into the top league was the day that they changed the training and all the divisions, and we got messed over. Yep. And then they didn't ban any of the stuff that's banned now, and then they just completely changed it from where it was before. And there was some problem. There were problems obviously in the start of it, and there was things that needed to be changed. And then they sorted them, and then they was like, okay, Conji's left, Schofield's left. We're going to change everything now. We're going to change the divisions and the trainings, and it was mental. Like the amount of, they were like, before there were like different variations of what's it called, of divisions, and like people would use airborne, people would use infantry, people would use expeditionary, people would use armored, and now everyone runs armored because they have to cancel out stuns because they didn't have tap mask in the game.
Yeah.
And now it's just broken. It's broken. I haven't played this game in about a month.
I remember we were quite excited about World War II when it first came out, and we it was the game that was meant to turn the franchise around and bring everyone back to it. Their whole marketing thing was like getting the squad back together and whatnot. But
a lot of those people did come back in the beta.
And they played it for a bit and then they just got sick of it.
In the first week, people came back and they got bored and they went back to what they were playing before.
Yeah.
And I just think
so.
They just let us down.
Yeah, it had potential, but they didn't realise it. I think that's what.
I think what was lacking, if they had the pick 10 system and some half decent streaks, that would have been a good game. I think the biggest problem in that game was divisions and the basic trainings.
They changed stuff that didn't need changing. Let's put it that.
Yeah, pick 10 system was the best we've had. It was in even Infinity War changed it. They had that in Infinity War, or what? No, what was it called? Infinite Warfare. I
Yeah.
was thinking Avengers. And that game wasn't very good, but they still had pick 10 system, and they didn't have that originally in like Modern Warfare 2. So it was obviously a good system, and for some reason they just like nah. They even had it in Advanced Warfare, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So it's just like why?
So yeah, that was World War II. Just in general, a game that didn't realize its potential, and therefore I don't think it will go down in history as one of the good COD games as such. I think it will go down as a bit of a disappointment.
Better than Ghosts and Infinite Warfare.
Better than Ghost and Infinite Warfare, but
I'd say on level par as Advanced Warfare,
yeah.
and then all the rest above them. We'll talk about that in another podcast. What are the best ones and that sort of thing.
Shit all over the other ones, but
yeah.
Let's move on to good stuff now. Black Ops 4, the trailers have come out, the reveal was done, and it looks pretty good. I mean, that's at least my opinion. I think it looks pretty good. And I know I said that about World War 2.
Yeah, we say that about every.
We say that about every single one.
I remember saying that about IW.
So yeah, I remember saying that. We said it looks pretty good, and then
it was awful.
It was like fucking dreadful.
I thought this trailer was it wasn't the best one we've had. I think World War II's trailer was a lot better than this one, but I think it does look like a decent game. And but the thing is, is who's producing it, and that's David Wonderhart, and he never sets us down.
Treyarch have always
they made
lived
a bad
up
game
to their promises. They are Treyarch. From what I can remember, World at War, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. None of those were bad games at all.
They were all good. All of them were good in some capacity. So
yeah,
let's hoping.
So we got the trailers here. From what I saw, I watched all the trailers. I didn't really catch them like all the other parts of the reveal, but the trailer, we've got boots on the ground, we've got good streaks. It looks like we've got good maps, and we've got the pick 10.
Yeah, I mean, and the only advanced movement there is that grapple gun, which can only be used by one specialist guy. Other than that, it looks alright.
I mean, boots on the ground, that's what I know. World War II obviously had boots on the ground, but the fact, I think what they're sticking to the boots on the ground. It's not like a one-off thing just for World War II. They're sticking with it now, and that's what I like. I think that's definitely a step in the right direction.
Imagine if World War II was jetpacks.
As I said back then, I would not have put it past them to do that.
They have it's World War II theme, but we're gonna have a little twist. We have an article with when Hitler said he invented a jetpack or something like that.
Yeah, like a Nazi secret weapon that somehow the Americans also have, because just to make the game balanced.
I wouldn't be surprised. Or they just added
I
the
would
game
not have put
mode.
it past them to have done that, honestly. Everything they've done so far, I would not have put it past them to have done that.
Yeah. Let's move past World War II. Sorry, that was my bad. Because I'm tired of that game already.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, to think it's only been out for what, like 6-7 months?
I'm excited. And I love how they've made Black Ops 4 come out a bit earlier as well.
People can't play World War II for another month.
Got no sales.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about boots on the ground. Streaks. The streaks look good. I mean, there was the AC-130 in the trailer.
Streaks
Thank
are
fuck
back.
the AC-130 is finally back. I missed that thing so much.
It's AC-130. Dogs are back.
Dogs are back, yeah, forgot about that. Dogs are back. Another really good streak.
will probably be in there. All the classics.
All the classics be in there. The dogs, the
care package,
HCXD care package.
a form of sentry gun,
probably a form of like
Guardian.
Wraith or Stealth Chop or something like that.
There's I think it's called I forgot what it's called, but it is an attack helicopter.
Yeah, they'll definitely have one of those. Airstrike, Lightning Strike, Hellstorm, probably.
Yeah.
All the classics.
Hellstorm and Lightning, classic esport kill streaks there, man.
Exactly. So yeah, I think as we've said many times before, I think the key to having a good COD game is the maps, the streaks, and the guns. And so far, it looks like the streaks are good.
Oh, there's also another image I wanted to link you as well, because
Send it to me and I'll put it on the screen for everyone to see.
Because I saw that they're bringing back the old guns from the past games in like not identical pictures, but you can see the links between them, and when they used them in the beta, they said they were pretty much the same. I'll send it to you afterwards. Anyway.
I mean, if I can run around with an M16 or an AK-47 again, that would be pretty cool.
The MSMC is back. M8's back. I know the name of the M8. It's the Swordfish. I know that's what it's called in Black Ops 4.
Swordfish.
Yeah. Because I saw someone do a video on it. It might have been T Martin. And then I don't like him. Anyway, the PDW's back and the Scar is back.
Oh,
The
all
ones
of
that I
those were great
confirmed.
guns. M8, Scar,
Yeah.
PDW.
Until
I loved
they
all of them.
patched the PDW. Like the first month of the game, PDW was insane.
I loved it.
that in
I just
Black
loved
Ops
running
2.
around with suppressed Scar with like stock and quick
Yeah,
draw,
yeah.
just dominating everyone because the damage was so high on that gun.
The M8 and the MSMC are back, man. That's what matters. I reckon, like in the esports, it's like I remember in Black Ops 3. I reckon the only reason, because I don't think the M8 was the best gun in the game, but the only reason people used it was because it's the M8 and it was good in Black Ops 2. So I'm hoping it's the same next year. But I reckon the guns in this game, the guns in this game look pretty good, and we'll talk about some of the bad stuff in a bit. And then the maps look good as well.
Yeah,
in
the
my
maps.
opinion,
I was going to
nice
say
and
that the
bright and
maps, from
colourful.
what I've seen, obviously we haven't seen all of them, but the maps we've seen do look good. And obviously it is Treyarch, and Treyarch have provided us with some of the best maps in history.
Yeah.
So
And I think colourful maps help it as well because it makes you feel a bit better rather than World War II. I mean, I understand why they did it when all the maps were so
obviously
dark
for realism
like,
and stuff. But
yeah. But come on, it's a game.
I think it helps
the
the what's the word I'm looking for? The visual aesthetics. That's the word, aesthetics. It helps the visual aesthetics of it.
Yeah, I could have said something else about World War II, but I said I've moved past it.
Yeah, we're gonna move past that now. Otherwise, we'll
I
just
can't.
sit here
There's
for
so
hours.
much to talk about. I could roast them for a good hour. I could roast them for the whole podcast, but I'm not going to. This is about
Yeah,
Black Ops
we'll
4
we'll
and
do
I'm
that in a
looking forward
different
to
one.
it.
We'll do that in a different
Yes,
one.
but we won't just talk about World War II. We'll talk about all CODs.
Yeah,
And roast
just
all of
roast the
them.
shit out of them all. Yeah. But yeah, so pick 10. That was another thing that's coming back.
Yes.
And pick 10. It goes without saying that's probably the best system we've ever had, best creator class system we've ever had in COD history. Because let's face it, if you don't want to use stuff, you don't have to take it, and you can use the points towards other things you'd rather have instead.
Exactly.
And you know, I never really used lethals, tacticals, secondaries. I always just used to have like an AR with like 3-4 attachments, and then just some perks as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't have to, if you don't like any perks in perk 1, you don't have to have any. You can have them in perk 2. And like the other previous games where you have to have one in each, essentially. And it might not be good as the other ones in another category, which you could use.
Yeah, I love the
always a
pick
good
10
thing.
system.
Yeah, it's my favourite. It makes it good for esports. And obviously, guys, you can tell I love esports. And
He is. Theo, for those who don't know, Theo is really big in the esports scene. Well, I say really big as though he's been like an optic member or
I've
something.
won COD champs 3
Yeah.
times.
But yeah, he was involved in CWL stuff, and you know, obviously he knows a lot about the esports scene.
I'll be back next year. And guys, leave a comment down below. We're gonna get Jay to get a PlayStation.
Yeah,
We're gonna get him
they're gonna
involved.
try and
I've
they're
seen
gonna
him
try and get
play.
me to get a PlayStation
Play.
and get me
I've
in the
seen
COD
him play.
esports scene. Even though
He's
I was
good.
focusing on getting in the PUBG esports scene, but I guess I'll come back to COD
Yeah.
for this year anyway.
We'll
I'll
see
come
how
back
it
to
is at
COD.
the start, and we can actually play in the COD like in 2Ks and stuff. So
Yeah,
be decent next year.
it will. I think this year it looks promising. It does look really promising, and
Yeah.
I think it will be a good year for COD. I think definitely it will be a good
Yeah.
year. So now that we've talked about the good stuff, let's talk about what we didn't like so much about the trailer.
There's actually
So
quite a lot as well, wasn't there?
there was,
That we didn't
although
like.
yeah, like Theo said, although there was a lot of good stuff, I did notice a lot of things that were a bit like
Yeah.
it seems a bit iffy, and I wasn't really sure whether that would
Yeah.
be good for the franchise. So to start with, let's talk about what was it, the armor specialists.
Yeah, well, it's not an armor specialist. I think it's a perk, or it's like an equipment which gives you an extra 50 health at the start of your life. So it's like Juggernog essentially. But when you lose that, you lose it completely. But the fact that you already have 150 health already, and I've heard that the time to kill is quite slow. Not slow, but it's slower than the other games. It's going to be quite annoying. I know that'll be banned for esports. If that's not, I'm not playing esports next year. I'll put that down right.
I don't. If they're going to ban things like UAVs, I don't see how they'd let you run around with 150 health.
Yeah. It's like the thing is with armor is like when you play a lot of COD, like me and Jay. Well, I don't know if Jay doesn't as much anymore, but when you play it as much as you do and you shoot someone, you know how many bullets it takes to kill someone. So when you shoot them and you think they're going to be dead, you stop shooting and you look away. But then you realise he's not dead because he has that armor. And they
that
kill
used to
you.
happen to me all the time.
Yeah, it happens a lot, doesn't it?
It was like you would,
that'll be a really
especially if you got
annoying-
like a really good like peek on someone. Like,
Yeah.
Like say if you were using a scar for example, and you knew it's a 3-shot kill, you'd fire 3 bullets. You got a really good peek. 2 of them hit, but then for some like weird lag or desync reason, the 3rd one didn't hit. You turn away because you assumed it was going to kill him, and then you're like, oh shit, the points.
It's even like if you're using a sniper in like NWR, you shot someone who had Juggernog and they might not have died. You look away because you think they're going to be dead, and they shoot you, and they have an M16. They one burst you, and you're dead.
Yeah, I can see that being really annoying actually.
Yeah, really frustrating.
And then obviously the specialists have come back, and I know there was the whole thing going around that they were trying to mimic Overwatch a bit with the whole
It
specialists.
sort of is in a way. Like it's like I don't know if you guys have watched esports in Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. There was specialist drafts, especially in Infinite Warfare, where you could only choose one specialist on your team, and that's sort of like what it's going to be in for pubs as well next year.
Yeah. But that was one thing I was a little uncertain about as well, was the whole, I think they're trying to, what we do want is a really good ranked play system. I think everyone wants that. I don't know anyone that doesn't want a good ranked play system.
Well.
League play, that was what it's called, yeah.
It's back. It's back.
But what they're trying to do in pubs is like they made it 5v5. There's a specialist draft, so only one player per team can use a certain specialist. And like I was saying before, if, say, for example, because I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of challenges and things to complete for these specialists. If you join the game and someone's already picked the challenge, the specialist that you need to complete the challenge for, obviously you're just going to back out. And people leaving games was already a big enough problem in COD. And now I think doing this, the specialist draft thing, I think that's only going to make it worse. I mean, not even if you don't want to complete challenges, people are naturally going to like lean towards one certain specialist that they really like. If someone takes that,
you don't want to be left with the bad one, do you?
Yeah, like say for example in Black Ops 3, say for example the 4 specialists were Ripper, or sorry, not Ripper, what was it? It was the what was the name of that guy?
Reaper, that was his name.
Reaper, Firebreak, the guy with the Ripper, the knives, and then there was, say for example, Outrider, the one with the Sparrow. So if you have those 4 specialists, and then say for example the guy with the minigun gets taken, the Firebreak gets taken, the Ripper gets taken, and then you're stuck with fucking Outrider. Obviously, you're probably going to want to back out.
Vision pulse, everyone can see where you are, and then the
bow. I mean, I play on PC, so you can be accurate with it anyway.
But it's not good, is it? So it's like if you were left with that, you'd be annoyed, wouldn't you? So
yeah, and I did use the Outrider a lot because obviously on PC with the mouse and everything, you can be really accurate with it and stuff. But
yeah.
But, I'm not sure whether the whole specialist draft thing in public lobbies is a good thing.
I reckon they'll take that.
I hope they do take it out.
I think what happens in the beta, people won't like it, and then they'll take it out.
Yeah.
I think.
Because they did confirm the beta, didn't they?
Yeah, there is a beta, private beta if you pre-order, which I'll get gameplay for you guys if my
Elgato works.
Elgato works. I think I just need to test it, and then but I think the reason imagine our next point we were talking about is 5v5 in pubs, which isn't good. But what I'm going to say is like, imagine if it was that specialist drafting and it was 6v6. Imagine if you're the last person to choose, and you definitely will get the worst one, won't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, naturally, some people are going to take longer to connect than others. And, you know, obviously the first person to connect, unless they're going for challenges, they're going to pick the best specialist available. And it's kind of just down to luck, isn't it? So, I mean, at least in esports, with the whole, obviously with the teams and everything in esports, players will like talk to their teammates before to decide what specialists they'll get with pubs and stuff.
In esports, but in pubs it's different because in
you're
pubs
probably not going to talk to your teammates.
No,
you're probably not going to talk to your teammates, and they'll just pick whatever specialist they want.
No, you're going to run around getting kills. You don't really care what
specialists and everything.
Yeah, it's like you obviously want a good one to help you get more kills, but it's like in esports you talk about it and you're just like, oh, let's do this for this reason to break a hill or that or for that, and then it's like in pubs you just want to run around getting kills. You don't want to have to have a disadvantage because you've got a really bad specialist, the one that you might not be used to using, and B, you might have the worst abilities or weapon.
Yeah, and particularly with the 5v5s and everything, I think one of the mistakes they made, I think they assumed too much that people play this game with friends. I mean,
Yeah,
I know loads of people that play it just solo. They just, even if they play like team deathmatch, I play solo as well most of the time, and they play games like Dom Team Deathmatch. They don't talk to their teammates. They just run around trying to win, obviously, but they don't communicate and everything.
yeah, and one of the reasons why you play on your own is because a lot of people play other things, and we'll talk about one of the other things that will be in Black Ops 4, which you'll play with friends. You won't want to play pubs if you're not don't want to play BR mode. A lot of them will want to play that later on their with their mates, won't they? A lot of us will just want to play pubs on our own. So
I mean, in the actual 5v5 system itself, I'm not so bothered about that because at the end, it's only 2 less players in the match.
yeah. And plus the thing is with me, I probably won't be playing as much pubs next year because of esports and what I want to do. Because League plays back, which is obviously a brilliant thing with how the ranking system works. So hopefully, I won't be playing as much pubs. Obviously, I will be playing pubs. So if there is a dark matter camo, I'll probably go for it, like I did in Black Ops 3, or like heroic uniforms, like I did in Black Ops 3. I'll probably go for that as well. But other than that, I probably won't do much else. So, I might just do it to warm up for a game or something. But to be honest, it's not a massive bother for me. But I can see why, because I say there's a small majority. I'd say half of the people playing now are competitive or play it because of competitive. But a lot of the people they will be getting coming onto the game, because it's obviously going to get a lot more people playing it this year, will play pubs rather than competitive. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing CS:GO a lot recently, and obviously that has 5v5s. I've been playing competitive, playing that, and I think if the weapons are balanced well, because obviously in CS:GO, like, players have roles, don't they? Obviously you got your AWPer, you've got your assault rifle guys, and you got your SMG players. I think if the weapons are balanced well and those roles kind of work in Black Ops 4, then maybe the 5v5s will be a good thing. And obviously they said the maps are going to be designed for 5v5 play, so
yeah, I said that I've heard that they've designed a lot of the maps for competitive as well.
yeah,
Which
I think that'll be a good thing, hopefully.
makes it because when they say they design it for competitive, that doesn't mean it's going to be played in competitive. What they mean is like 3 lanes, few cuts and stuff, and easy ways. But the main thing and best thing about maps in COD is 3-lane systems. Anything else, it's pretty boring and it's not very good.
Yeah,
So
there's
that's
also
a good
the
thing.
equipment regen, isn't there?
Oh my god! It's just, I think that's one of the worst ideas I had, and they have, and I think they'll probably take that after the beta, because you could end up getting like what if you get on a massive street, you could have like 6 grenades in one life. Like you could, or you could have so many concussions in a life, and that's going to be overpowered. Right, I think the whole regen, equipment regen, and health regen in Black Ops 4, I'm not a massive fan, because you could get shot. I understand that you take, like, if you regen, it takes a while before you can regen again, but you just get shot loads of times. You one shot, the guy's going to challenge you because you think he's so weak you're going to kill him. The guy can instantly heal up straight away and kill him. I'm not a massive fan of that, but
And it is, as like a PUBG player myself, I can say that a lot of the time when you die, it's when you're healing up and you can't move. Like, there's been so many times I've been like sniped as I'm healing up because I've just won a gunfight and I'm low on health and stuff. And I think that might be the same in Black Ops 4. Like, you'll just run around, shoot someone, but you'll be low yourself. So you try to hide somewhere, heal up, and then someone will just bum rush you while
I've heard you can shoot while you're regenerating your health.
Can you?
Apparently,
I mean,
yeah.
well, if that is the case, then
I think that's
fine.
overpowered. I think that's overpowered because you see 50 enemy, like loads of enemies in one area. You shield 2, and then you just like, okay, I've got a heal, press it, and you're still running at them shooting. I think that's.
I mean, unless they make it so that maybe you can only use a pistol whilst you're healing or something.
Maybe. I think it's like hip fire. When you reload.
To be fair, like, obviously it's going to take one hand to heal, and I don't think it's that plausible to use an assault rifle with just one hand. I mean, the recoil would be nutty. Just think about that.
Yeah, that'd be mental.
Trying to control the recoil of an assault rifle with one hand, it would be mental.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, we've got all this stuff, and then there was the new game mode, wasn't there? What was that all about?
Oh, which one?
There was that new game mode.
Oh, yeah. It's like S&D mixed with.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I forget the name of it. What was it
It
called?
begins with a C, doesn't it?
Control. Was it Control?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it's that. Yeah, I think it's that. Wait,
Control mode or something like that.
whatever it is, yeah, it's like you have like your whole team has like how many lives in one?
3 was it?
No, they have like the whole team combined have like 30 lives altogether, or something like that. And then when your team run out of lives, then you lose. But it's like domination sort of thing when you got to capture a point and then your team pushes forward. It's like that advanced warfare game mode.
War.
No, when you control a point,
That was no. Sorry, that was.
Yes, it's similar to
World
War.
at War was War, wasn't it? Because it wasn't originally in Advanced Warfare. It came from World at War, and then they put it in Momentum. That was what it was called in Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that, but you can only go forward and but your team gets so many lives. I think apparently that's one of the best game modes.
I mean,
From the
one
beta,
thing
is
I
what I've
think,
heard a lot of people say.
like looking at it from the outside perspective, one thing we can really see is that they are emphasizing a lot on team play and like communication this year.
Yeah. Didn't they say that as well? They really focus on team play.
Which obviously is really good for competitive, I think. Maybe not so for pubs, but definitely for competitive, it'll be good.
Yep. I think competitive makes them a lot of money.
It does, definitely. So,
a lot of viewership.
before we go on for too long, let's move on to zombies and campaign. I think I'll make us, obviously, because I'm a lot more into zombies than Theo is, I think I'll make like a separate video about zombies at some point over the summer. But I mean, obviously, we got the 3 maps, haven't we? 3 maps at launch, that's good.
Yeah, I can't
helps with
remember
the
what they're
replayability
called,
factor. You've got 9, you've got Voyage of Despair, and then Mob of the Dead Remastered. Yeah, there's new characters. Obviously, Mob of the Dead Remastered, that's arguably one of the best maps in zombies history.
That's gonna make them a lot of money.
Yeah, that definitely will. Then you got obviously the other 2 maps, which look decent in my opinion. Don't look like bad maps.
I'll probably play them, but I'm not a zombies fan. But it's like a lot of the zombies, and they bring the YouTubers back because a lot of the
They went to
zombies
Fortnite,
YouTuber went to
Yeah.
Fortnite, and I think the zombies community needs the YouTubers to come back and
Help revive the
raise
game
the-
a bit.
yeah,
Breathe some life
definitely.
into it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think we'll just leave zombies for there for the moment because I mean, as I said, Theo doesn't play much zombies, and I'll make a separate video about it. So, campaign. What do you think about that? No campaign.
I think it's a good idea, especially because in the past, and referring to a specific game, IW, they dedicated so much time into that.
The campaign, they
Not,
left
like
the other
game mode,
bits to
but
the
it's,
last minute,
they
didn't
left the others to the last bit, and like you can sort of tell that with World War II as well. You can tell they did a lot of focus on the campaign, which was actually quite a good campaign. I played it, to be fair, it was quite good. But
They just didn't balance the time very well, did they?
no, and I think multiplayer is probably the biggest thing in COD, and it always has been since COD 4, and it probably always will be now. And I think they need to focus their time on that. And it looks like and there's another game mode.
And I mean,
which
you
we
only play
talk
the
about.
campaign like really once, don't you? And then that's
Yeah,
it.
when you've done it, you know what happens. It's like if you want to play it.
I remember at first when I first heard the rumor that there was gonna be no campaign, I was thinking, really? Because I mean, if you think about it, campaign has been always like a traditional part of COD. But now that I think about it more, it does seem I can see the logic, and I think it will work out well in the long term if they don't put in a campaign and instead use that time and resources to focus on multiplayer and zombies and
and
battle
there's
royale.
another reason which we'll still we'll talk about in a bit, which is why they obviously dropped it as well, to focus on that as well. And me and Jay talked about it, or we could go into it now. Really,
What
if we
battle
wanted
royale
to.
mode?
BR mode, yes, blackout. And that's going to make them so much money, and it'll bring so many players and so much viewership back to COD. That's probably why they did it, and I think they had to get rid of one to focus on another. And I think that was
I think it was.
best
I think it was a good decision to focus on battle royale mode over campaign.
because it's the biggest it's the biggest game in the world, like type of game in the world right now. You have Fortnite, PUBG, and H1. I remember when H1 came out, it was massive, and then PUBG came out, it got even bigger. And Fortnite's the biggest game in the world right now. But even though PUBG are trying to sue them, I've heard. But
I mean, I don't think we should talk much about that now. I mean, as a PUBG fanboy, even I don't think that was a good
yeah,
idea. But
there might be some bias.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I play an awful lot of PUBG. I've got like over 800 hours in it already, which is probably like
They're fun. They're fun.
it is,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I've
fun.
been trying a lot. Like, especially when I get my new PC soon, I'm gonna be trying to like enter some leagues and whatnot, competitive play, because I love watching PUBG competitive play. So the fact that Black Ops 4 is containing a battle royale mode.
And I think what I'm looking forward to most is that they said it contains all the stuff from the former games, and I think when I like BR mode games, I think they're really fun. And when you combine that with my favorite game of all time, then I'm so excited for it.
The one thing I really was excited about though, that kind of got the nostalgia going, was when they said that the actual Blackout map is going to be made up of like loads of the old maps, like Nuketown, Firing Range, all those good maps that we love.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It's a concept. It's only a concept image, guys. I'll send that to Jay, and he can put it in the video if he wants to. But it had like Hunted, it had Nuketown, it had Raid, it had what other tryout maps did it have? It had I can't remember. It had like Standoff and all the best maps we've had in history. Imagine all of them in one map, and they said it's 1,500 times bigger than Nuketown. They think like it's gonna be
It's
massive.
probably going to be even bigger
be
than Transit and Black Ops 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be
massive.
insane. I'm so excited.
It looks. When I first heard about Battle Royale, I must admit I thought, okay, this is just going to be another shitty Activision cash grab. But when I saw the reveal at the reveal event, and they
said they've got the old guns, they've got the streaks, they've got the vehicles. I'm just like, and all the old characters as well.
It looks really good, yeah.
Characters
like you can play as the zombies characters and all the old Black Ops, like Woods. Imagine that, Woods, Reznov, all those old characters.
Reznov,
imagine playing as Reznov in Battle Royale mode.
That'd be
really
sick. And then they're gonna mix like multiplayer. Imagine all the multiplayer, all the zombies mixed with the campaign guys. Imagine that. Mental. And then it's like they said to have sea, land, and air vehicles.
Yeah. But I will be curious though to see if, because in my opinion the whole Battle Royale thing is just a phase. As much as I like PUBG, I will admit that I think Battle Royale is just a phase at the moment. I don't think it's going to be a long-lasting kind of phase, I guess, that people are just obsessed with. I think after maybe a few years,
another game will come out, and then
another, let's say another game that's as popular as Fortnite will come out, and then everyone would jump on that.
And then everyone like make games like that.
Yeah, I think like, Battle Royale will be popular for another few years at least, but I think it will die down quicker than most people will expect, to be honest.
Do you think? I was going to ask you something.
No, what was it? We might as well just briefly mention it. What was it?
Do you think Fortnite's starting to die down a bit now?
Well, I mean, I guess it's not as hyped up as it was when it was first a big thing. I mean, I don't think it's dying yet as such, but
I think it's plateaued a bit.
Yeah, I think it is maybe really reached its like maturity stage, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think so. But I think there's ways they can make it go even more, but we can talk about that anyway.
But I mean, what else have we got here? So we got Battle Royale. Like in general, I think it is a good step for Black Ops 4, and I think it will definitely boost the sales. I think it will help replayability a lot, especially if they release DLC for the Battle Royale modes, like new maps or something.
Yeah, imagine that. And I think it's free as well, which I know is a good thing. And I've heard a rumor that the DLC for Black Ops 4 is going to be free.
Yes, actually, I heard that as well. The multiplayer DLC. I think there was meant to be a season pass for zombies, but the multiplayer DLC I think is meant to be free, which is fantastic.
Yeah, which is good. But the only thing I want to know is whether they're going to do what Fortnite do, which makes you buy it, which means you have to pay for skins. Which I think that it could be quite annoying, because if they're saying they're going to bring characters from all the different modes they have, that could mean there's quite a lot of characters to get, and that could be quite expensive.
Yeah, I'm not. Did you hear anything about?
Oh wait, I just realised how they're going to do it now.
Supply drops.
Yeah, I,
I was about to mention that. I was going to think, where do the supply
about
drops come into it? They're obviously coming into it. So
There has to be supply drops.
it's
Supply
not a
drops
COD
in-
game without
I
supply
don't
drops
know.
these days, is it?
No.
So, yeah, I
That's one
mean,
thing I liked about World War II. The supply drops were only cosmetic.
the one good thing that COD World War II did, and
Yeah.
the weapons you
Like, there
got.
were guns you could get, but the guns were awful.
And to be
man.
fair, I think there was like challenges you could do to get the guns.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff,
could get
so.
them. Yeah. So, but like, there obviously supply drops, guys. Don't think there
Yeah,
won't
let's
be.
not kid
I think
ourselves
It's a fact
here, I
now.
think.
I don't think we should ever. I think from now on, from our podcast on now, it's like we shouldn't even talk about supply drops because we know they're going to be.
We
in
might
the
as well. I
game
mean, the
next
days
year.
of, complaining about supply drops, they're back in Black Ops 3 days, aren't they? I mean, I think we should just, as much as we hate the system, we might as well just accept it for what it is. And
Yeah.
I mean, Activision, they need to make their billion-dollar profits somehow, don't they? So
Yeah, I mean, Michael Condrey and Michael Schofield at Activision need to make their money somehow.
fucking hell,
now.
they need their
Especially
fucking
when there's
weekly
World War
holidays
II.
to fucking Ibiza or wherever they go. So
Gibraltar to do
they can lay on the beach and do
examinations for their
nothing,
maps. Oh god. But anyway, I think the BR will. What I'm excited for BR is that there's going to be a lot more people playing Black Ops 4 next year, and a lot of people will be coming back. A lot of people will be watching it. Imagine if Ninja plays BR mode.
Actually, speaking of big
on Black Ops
streamers, I
4.
heard that Shroud actually got maybe a contract kind of thing to like promote Black Ops 4 Blackout when it came out. And obviously, he's
Really?
one of
That's
the
a
biggest.
big-
He's one of the biggest streamers for battle royale games.
And I think Ninja will obviously play. He's played all the BR modes. He's obviously going to try it if he likes it. Imagine the viewership and the money and the amount of players playing Black Ops 4 next year. It could be Black Ops. I'm going to put this down now, guys. Black Ops 4 will be the biggest game played we've had in the last 5 years.
Easily.
I think all
COD's
the Fortnite
combined,
people
it's
will come over.
basically COD combines with Fortnite in a sense, isn't it? Traditional COD combines
And I
with
think
Fortnite.
all the Fortnite players will come over to Black Ops 4 because they want to try the BR mode, and it will just make it even bigger. And I'm obviously a massive esports. We will touch on that, and that's just to make esports even bigger, and that'll make the game grow as well, and COD grow as well, because esports is a massive thing now.
That was another thing
And-
I was wondering actually. Do you think they'll have like a separate esports scene for Blackout? Because it doesn't really work in traditional COD esports, does it? Because you have so many different teams and
Yeah, I doubt it, mainly because the other BR modes haven't established themselves as esports yet, or aren't massive esports yet. I don't think Activision want to go, okay, we've only just released our game, let's make it the esport this year. So I don't think they'll be ready for that. Maybe because I know that Treyarch said they want this game to last 3-4 years. So if it does well and they think they can do it after the first year, then go for it. But I doubt it, especially for the first year. I don't think they will. But anyway, it's like this is why I'm trying so hard to get into esports, guys. Well, not the other. I love esports, but the amount of money that's going to be coming into COD now, it's going to be massive. The prize pools are going to be massive. And if you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere, are you? So that's why I'm trying to get
exactly.
into it as well.
Words of wisdom there from Theo.
Exactly. If you're not going to try, then go have a look at yourself in the mirror. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yes. I mean, PUBG, Battle Royale esports, it's a work in progress. Like PUBG esports, it has come a fair way. And they've obviously got that $2 million tournament going on at the moment. And then
Yeah, I think
Fortnite
PUBG is
has
probably the most established esport.
in Battle Royale,
Because
definitely.
like Fortnite's, yeah, because like Fortnite's, I don't really see it as an esport. Because like the only way they do esports is 2v2s, and whoever gets the most kills wins. I'm just like, it's not really tactical, is it?
No, PUBG's more
It's just
tactical,
like-
definitely. For
Yeah,
esports.
exactly. And then I've seen a H1 tournament. I remember when all the big streamers got invited to a tournament. It was awful, but it was a lot more entertaining than I think Fortnite esports is, in my opinion.
Fortnite, it seems quite casual, doesn't it? It doesn't. I don't think it really works for like, mainstream esports because it's a casual game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. The only thing that Fortnite has going for it is all the big streamers are on there and they can promote esports if they want to. which is like what's lacking in maybe PUBG. The fact that Ninja's not playing it anymore.
I
And
mean,
Dr.
yeah,
and then
I do
Dr.
agree there.
Disrespect has
You've got
been
Doctor Disrespect. He's always
been,
fucking complaining about it, isn't he?
he's moaning about it so much at the
Yeah.
moment. So
And
that's
then
not helping
I
him
think
either.
you've
So.
got a couple, like obviously you've got Shroud, you've got Vis, you've got a lot of other big streamers playing PUBG at the moment, but you know, I think Battle Royale esports is a work in progress, but I think give it time, give the developers time to improve it and fix things and optimize it. I think it will become a big thing in the esports scene if the developers do that. If that's the big if. So I think, what else do we have? We talked about Battle Royale, we talked about the main game. Obviously the other big thing that we heard about, which isn't to do with Black Ops 4, is Modern Warfare 4. Did you hear about that?
Heard a leak.
There was a leak.
Heard a leak.
And it all
Everyone loves a
started-
leak.
It all
And
started
it seems to be right.
Yeah, it all started when those guys from Respawn Entertainment, the guys who made Titanfall, they came back to Infinity Ward. After all this time, they came back. And then that sparked rumours, and I think there was another source of confirmation somewhere from some inside source. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Isn't it? Wasn't it? I swear the leak was from that guy who leaks it every year and is always right. I remember he leaked Black Ops 3. He leaked Infinite Warfare. He leaked IW and I said Infinite Warfare, and he leaked World War 2. So he's been right so far, and he leaked Black Ops 4.
And
so
it does make sense, doesn't it? Ghosts and Infinite Warfare were both, in the eyes of the community at least, a flop. So
yeah, definitely.
the last time Infinity Ward made a good game was Modern Warfare 3, and a lot of fans will argue that the Modern Warfare series was arguably the best series in COD history. Obviously, the Black Ops series competes with it, but...
And the thing is, a lot of people didn't like Modern Warfare 3 either, so, like... And Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4 are arguably the best games of all time in COD history. So I'm excited. I love Modern Warfare 3 as well.
If it is Modern Warfare 4...
Yep.
Then that could, I mean, we've said many times that, you know, it's too late to save the franchise, but if it is Modern Warfare 4, perhaps it could, you know, the name Modern Warfare could be enough to bring people back.
I think Black Ops 4 is saving COD just because of the BR mode, not the rest of it. BR mode to bring a lot more players in, and then the other players will obviously play the rest of the game as well. They're not going to play BR mode for the rest of their life. They're going to have at least one game of pubs, so they'll play it as well. And then I think Modern Warfare 4 will help it even more and push it up, and then it'll be a massive game again, which is what I'm hoping. It'd be because COD used to be the biggest game in the world. If you just speak to any lad your age or young, or even like from 12 to like 20 something, you go, oh yeah, that was I love COD. They'll know what you're talking about. They're not thinking you're talking about the fish. I think you're talking about the game. It's that big. It's that big a franchise now that people know.
It's like
what
a
COD
household
is.
name, isn't it?
Yeah, and then if people hear, oh yeah, Modern Warfare 4, yeah, it's coming out. It looks like Modern Warfare 2. It looks so good. And then all those people who stop playing it because after Modern Warfare 2, they're going to come back, aren't they? It's going to make it. Everything's going to start coming back in COD. I think COD's on the up now. After how many years of it being so low, it's about bloody time.
And
COD.
you know, if some of you wonder why me and Theo shit on the game a lot and say, "Oh, this game sucks," it's not because we hate the game; it's because we love it and we want it to be good.
Definitely. I've played COD since COD 4.
Yeah, we've both been playing it for years now, and you know, we want this franchise to do well because, you know, we've grown up with it. We played it all the time, and we've had so many good memories with it. So
I had like 2 months played on Black Ops 3. I had same time on Modern Warfare 2. I had the same time. I had about, I'll say about the same time. I had about half of that on IW. Like, I still play it even if it's a bad game because I'm a COD. I love COD. The only game I haven't played as much is World War 2 because I've got to the point now where it's just so boring. So I've had this effort since the last game which I grinded was Black Ops 3, and that's probably and before that we hadn't had anything good since Black Ops 2. So it's been a long time, guys, and we're just begging for it to come back, and we shit on it so much is because we remember the good old days. we were there when it was there, and now we've moved we've gone backwards rather than
ventured
forwards.
so far from where it was good.
Yeah, and it's like we've gone so much further backwards than forwards. If we even get to 3/4 of what Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 was, I'll be happy. But we keep going back every year, and it's like I think I prefer playing IW, but mainly because I was better at it. But I thought it was more fun to play than World War Two, and it just shows that we're going backwards every year. The only one which had an up was Black Ops 3, but that's because Treyarch make the best games, and that is a fact.
So let's throw down the key question here. Do you think, because I think in the eyes of the community, Black Ops 2 was the last quote-unquote good COD game. Do you think Black Ops 4 can pick up from where Black Ops 2 left off as
100%.
a quote-unquote good COD game? 100%. 100%.
I'd even go 1,000%. And it's not just because of the multiplayer, because there's three, like, the last few years we might have had one good game mode, you might have had one good campaign, and then the multiplayer and zombies bad. You might have had one multiplayer and the zombies and the campaign was bad, and then you might have had only zombies was good. Like, in my opinion, that was like Black Ops 1. I didn't like Black Ops 1 multiplayer, but obviously a lot of people did. But it's like, in my opinion, the only thing good in that game was zombies. So it's like the fact that we have potential to have 3 incredible modes just shows we could be getting back to where we used to be. And I think Black Ops 4 definitely has the potential to do that. And the fact that so many people be coming over from Fortnite, from PUBG, and people coming back to play COD just because the BR mode is
and
insane.
Especially if the rumours are true that it's Modern Warfare 4 next year, or next time round.
Yeah, exactly. And who's after that? Sledgehammer, and that's what they're going to do, bring it all crashing down again.
Yeah. We'll
I've heard a rumour that it's Advanced Warfare 2.
And then it
I'm just going.
Hey guys, we're doing what the community wants, and we're bringing back the jetpacks.
Yeah, but if they do that, I reckon the pros in the esports scene go, no, we're going to go back to playing Black Ops 4 for another year. We're not playing Advanced Warfare 2 or even Modern Warfare 4. We're going to carry on playing that because we're not playing Advanced Warfare 2. It was so. I think Sledgehammer should leave now. They went
go back to the good old days when it was just
attempts.
Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened. They were good, and then Sledgehammer came in. They went awful. I mean, Ghost was okay. That was arguable. It was a bad game. You know,
I enjoyed it personally.
I think it was an average game. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't a bad game. Then Sledgehammer came in, and all the games after that have been bad, apart from Black Ops 3. Sledgehammer leaves, so Infinity Ward and Treyarch can get back to doing their good stuff again.
Whilst we were on Ghosts, I think Ghosts, as we said before, I think Ghosts felt like it should have come before Black Ops 2. It felt like every game up until Ghosts was a step forward, but Ghosts felt like a step back, which is why I think Ghosts should have come before Black Ops 2. Because Black Ops 2, in my opinion, was a step forward from Ghosts.
I think Black Ops 2 was the biggest step forward.
Even though, actually, even to this day, I'll stand by what I said when I think Ghosts has the best perk system in COD history.
Well, Ghost.
Yeah, the perk system.
Yeah, I like that. But I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Black Ops 2 is the most impactful game for the rest of the CODs? Because they brought in the pick 10 system, they brought in really good maps, they brought in really good guns, they brought in really good streaks, they made the esports scene what it is now, which is massive. Even through the bad games, it's still a massive esport. Do you think Black Ops 2 made the biggest impact on the rest of what COD is now?
Yes, I do. I think up until Black Ops 2, I think COD was like, it was developing, wasn't it? And then it was developing, and then when Black Ops 2 came out, Black Ops 2 like finalized everything and brought it all together to make the best COD game there was.
Like, Modern Warfare 2, people say Modern Warfare 2 is the best game. In my opinion, Black Ops 2 is the best game of all time, mainly because it had everything in it was good. There was obviously bad stuff, but it's like...
The majority.
The majority of it was good. In Modern Warfare 2, it was a really fun game, but there was a lot wrong with it. The fucking... What's it called? Oh, I shouldn't swear. Noob tubes. Oh, my God. The noob tube, one-man army, no flak jacket, no... what's it called? No tactical.
And especially considering the fact that
there was no pick 10.
Fucking studio split up like halfway during. This is Modern Warfare 2, sorry, not Modern Warfare 3, but
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah.
It was a
Sorry,
development, and then Black Ops 2 finalized everything and brought it together.
Yeah, and imagine if Modern Warfare 2 had a pick 10 and it had Flacken tactical mask. It would have been insane. I reckon that would have been the best game.
And then
of
you didn't have all
all
those grenade launchers and everything. You know.
Well, no, because I think Flak Jacket could counter it, so it's like it's a toss up. But it's like, imagine if Modern Warfare 2 had pick 10. That game would have been one of the best games of all time. Not just COD, any game.
Yeah.
Because that would have been so
And to an
fun.
extent, it already is one of the best games of all time, isn't it?
They had it. Oh my god, I'm so excited for next year, guys. I don't know if you can tell.
I mean, as I said last video I made, which was like a couple of months ago, I think. You know, I said COD was dying. I had no interest in it anymore. But
we have to have
seeing
David Wonderhart.
After seeing everything that's come out with Black Ops 4 and then the Modern Warfare 4 rumors, I think. Yeah. All right, I think it's time to get back into COD now. It's time to get back into it.
And I've been trying to get this esports now because I don't want to jump on too late like CS:GO. Because if you jump on too late, it's massive now. How are you going to become a pro now?
It's too saturated, isn't it?
Yeah, I've come close. I got one bit below the CW. I was in a league which is like a lot of the top AMs in Europe playing, which I was in. So I could, if I wanted to, I could get back there. I just need a team, Jay, and then you have to give it a go. And I think BR obviously is going to have a lot of hype to BR mode. Esports will be big, multiplayer will be big, zombies is going to be big. It's like everything's starting to get better now. In
and one thing I did say before is like, out of all the time COD had to make its comeback, why the fuck did it have to do it now that I'm getting into the PUBG esports scene? Out of all the time you had to make
and we have to go to university.
Yeah, I mean, I've got university coming up. I'm really enjoying PUBG and I'm trying to get into the esports scene. And now COD decides to make its comeback. It's like, fuck's sake, why now?
If only Sledgehammer had left after Advanced Warfare, we would have been alright. Like, okay, we're gonna talk about this. We'll do that in our roasting podcast. We're gonna do one in a.
We've been going for over 50 minutes, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk for a little bit longer, but you know, I think we should think about.
This isn't a massive point. What I'm gonna say is, in our we're gonna do a roast podcast in a few weeks or a couple of months, and I'm going in on Sledgehammer Games because I didn't want them to join in the first place. They ruined COD, and they made another game which was just as bad, and they're still here. They need to leave right now.
It's funny how last podcast we were trash talking Infinity Ward, and now we've switched over to Sledgehammer.
Yeah, but to be honest, Infinity Ward aren't good either, in my opinion.
If they can bring Modern Warfare 4, then I think that could change.
If they can make it as good as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, then and COD 4, then I'll be alright. It's the fact that they've made two really, well, not bad games. Like Ghost wasn't awful, but it wasn't a great game. And then IW was IW. We won't talk about that. And then, so it's just like, in my opinion, the only company which is delivered on a consistent basis at the moment is Treyarch. So, but should we quickly touch on, because I know we didn't discuss this before, do you want to quickly touch on what we have planned as a YouTube side of things?
Oh, about our
couple of minutes.
Yeah. All right. So So for the final few minutes here, you know, me and Theo have been talking about some potential ideas for the future. Obviously, you know, the natural things: YouTube, Twitch streaming, all that kind of stuff. But then, as a potential, you know, this next idea is in very early stages, and you know, we're not at all sure if it's actually going to happen or anything, but. You know, we've been talking throughout this podcast about, you know, me getting a PS4 and starting esports, and maybe Theo also getting a PC and doing esports on PC as well.
I am getting a PC eventually, actually.
And we were thinking, you know, should we begin our own esports org? Should we start our own team and get involved in all this stuff?
If we don't make it, we still want to be involved in esports because the future. I think I saw there's a FIFA tournament on the telly the other day. FIFA, it's not the biggest game and it's on the telly. Imagine Fortnite or COD on the telly. It's going to get there eventually, guys. It's like, you want to be part of that. And I know contacts of how to start an organisation. I told this to Jay. I know how to get I know who to talk to get a logo made, who to get sponsors, how to get sponsors and how to start it. I've got a mate who the team I played for. He was my old teammate. He taught me through how he started his org. So it's definitely possible. And then we obviously want to do streaming. When I get a PC, we'll probably like stream like PUBG playing together, or like CS or Fortnite if Jay plays it. But Siege, yeah, definitely. Oh, Siege, what a game! We'll talk about that. We're gonna. That's the other thing. We obviously got our org stuff, guys, and then we're also going to. We've mentioned it a bit in this podcast already, but we and Jay, we're gonna, when Jay's finishes his exams, we're gonna try and do like a fortnightly or a monthly podcast as well, talking about games and
just news in general,
like, and just,
gaming.
yeah, and that sort of thing. And just we want to do like a gamers podcast, because like you see a lot of podcasts nowadays, and they're obviously like they're from I don't know about Jay, but I think they're really fun, just talking about things we love.
It is, yeah. It is really good.
And I think we'd love to do it more often rather than every year about COD and just roasting them all the time. Be decent to just talk about stuff we're interested in, that sort of thing. So I don't know if you guys would like that, but
no,
I think that's definitely something me and Jay want to do.
Work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the thing about my exams are, you know, next week, which obviously by the time this goes up, I've probably done them all anyway, but, you know, they're not, it's only over a period of like 13 days, 2 weeks, so it really isn't going to be long before we start, you know, getting all these ideas into motion, kicking things into gear and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I need to get a job and pay for this stuff, but it's like we can sort this out. It's like it's not a extremely long period of time which is going to happen. It'd be it's relatively
quite soon, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I mean,
I think this. I know I'm starting at my YouTube channel. I need to start my Elgato, and then as soon as I fix that, I'm going to start my YouTube and Twitch again. I know that Jay wants to do Twitch. I can do Twitch now off my PlayStation.
Once I get my exams done and I get that new PC, which is happening right after my exams, you know, then all this stuff's going to be starting to move into motion, I think, and with obviously with Black Ops 4 around the corner, you know, really big opportunities to get ourselves, you know, out there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think maybe not YouTube, but definitely Twitch is a big growing industry at the moment. And I love stream. When I streamed, I loved it because my mates would join me in the chat.
It's a right laugh,
teammates,
isn't
and
it?
it's fun. Yeah, like I can't wait to do. I can't wait to sort my Elgato. The reason I stopped was because people at school used to take the piss out of me, and I know it really got to me, so I stopped. It's like, but now I'm just looking at it like, if you don't try. And I think a lot of people want to be YouTubers or streamers because it's a fun job. You get to do what you want. You do something you really like, and it's just something you can enjoy. And it's like, why did my biggest regret is that I stopped, because what if I carried on? I could have made a video and it could have got 100,000 views, and a lot of people would have liked it, and I could have grown. So it's just like, if you don't try, then you're definitely not going to do it. So that's my biggest thing for esports, for streaming, for YouTube, for anything. And I think that's why me and Jay have to take this chance that we want to do.
We do. We definitely have to take this chance. And you know, it's for those of you out there watching this, it might seem a bit like outlandish. It might seem like, oh yeah, everyone says they're going to do all this stuff, they never do. But I mean, you know, me and Jay have talked about this for a few months now. You know, obviously, I know 2 people isn't enough to start a team, but you know, we know people who could potentially.
Well, it is actually. It's fine. We can start a thing. We just need to find people to join us. Yeah, so it's like,
you know, that shouldn't be too hard. We know.
If we get a decent amount of sponsors, we could pick up a team and they could play at like Birmingham. They might not do very well, but it like gets your name out there and it starts to grow slowly. I mean, one of my old teammates, he went to his COD team. I hadn't heard of his team he was playing for. They got like 1K followers on Twitter now, so it's like they've grown a bit. So you have to try. If this is one of the like massive thing in my opinion. It's like, because I used to play a lot of football. And it's just like, it's like I always said I wanted to be a footballer. It's like, oh yeah, the chance of you being a footballer is that. I'm just like, if someone told me that and I stopped playing football, then I'm definitely not going to be able to do it, am I? So if you got to think, if you want to do it, just go for it. You have to take these risks. If you're not going to take a risk, then you're not going to do anything, are you? So I don't know if we want to end it now, Jay, or.
I mean, we've said everything we've wanted to say, haven't we? you know, just about these podcasts, you know, as Theo said, after my exams are done, which is very soon, we're going to start making these more regular things. Obviously, I'm going to start upping my upload schedule once all these exams are out the way and that weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, and the other thing with us doing them more regularly as well, like, I know a lot of people don't like watching the really long podcasts. So if we do them more regularly, it's going to be a lot shorter.
Yeah, exactly. We can split the information up into smaller podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, you know, it's exciting times ahead, I think, definitely. And
Yeah, definitely.
you know, we've got
COD and
Black Ops
between me
4,
and Jack,
Black
got a lot
Ops
of
4
plans.
right around the corner. We've got huge
Oh, I'm
opportunities
so
here.
excited.
And
And wait, another good. We didn't mention this. It's coming out a couple of weeks earlier this
yeah,
year.
it is. It's coming out a lot sooner, so
In October this year.
that's sooner for us to start kicking things into gear, isn't it?
2 weeks less of playing World War II.
Exactly. All right. So, have we said pretty much everything we've wanted to say? I think we have.
Yeah, I think
haven't we?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. I hope you all enjoyed that. I mean, I know it was just over an hour long, but I mean that's general podcasts are quite long, aren't they? So yeah. So is that everything we've been wanting to say? Everything with all our points we've got across. Is that everything?
Yeah. Everyone. Okay, everyone's like, oh, don't get excited because it might be a massive flop. Guys, get excited. This game's going to be massive. Believe me. Even if it is just a battle royale mode, it's going to be big. I'm so excited for it.
Yep. So I think that's it then. We've got everything across. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. If you made it this far, then thank you very much for watching this entire hour-long podcast.
You made it this far.
You know, obviously we're still, me and Theo, we're still quite new to doing these things, and you know, we're not experts by no means at podcasting and, you know, editing and whatnot. But
the reason it's so long is because we're so passionate.
It's a work in as with most things we do, it's a work in progress, and we're always, you know, trying to improve wherever we can.
We're getting there.
Theo's getting a PC soon. He's getting new recording equipment. You know, all this stuff, and I'm doing the same.
I've already got some of my equipment.
And you know, it's definitely a work in progress, and we're going to be striving to improve this over the coming months. And you know, with Black Ops 4, that's a great chance for us to, you know, broaden things out a bit, isn't it? So yeah, I think we'll end it here before we just, you know, make this fucking 2 hours. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. That's me and Theo done for today, and we'll be back in the future. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I'll see you next time. Peace out.